I don't need to pay for it. I will get it. Before he left, and then this night, there was this shooting, so that they can set me up. See, I've been working from the time of General Buhari in saving life, restoring hope to those who have lost hope. Go and ask for our work in Imo, or our work now in Anambra, in Iyala, Namechi. You saw the number of uncountable number of dead bodies, skeleton and skulls. How we arrested those people, put them off in coordinated operation with the Nigerian military, with the Nigerian police. And it's so sad that we do all this work. You saw the trailers, you saw the bone, the skulls, hundreds of skulls. You saw the road that had been planted by improvised explosive Ogbonigwe. How we risk our life in digging them out. Go to Baga, go to Mangoro, go to Kotagora, go to Wasi, and see what our men are doing for Nigeria and saving lives. One man, one individual had become bigger than everything. We have been saying it, and the country had been handed over to him. He has captured the judiciary. He has captured the presidency. He has captured the security infrastructure of the Nigerian state. He has even captured a chunk of public opinion. The Supreme Court will give judgment on issues that are not before her, that are still subsisting and pending in lower courts. The Supreme Court will declare a person who left his position, resigned from his position to contest for governorship. The Supreme Court will say he did not. Tiagasa, they tear him. He fell, he fainted, he passed out. He passed out. 70 years old man. But when their people came,
there was Asari. He was a man. I don't know why he kept shut. I mean, he had to shut his eyes. He kept them shut and opening them one by one, like, once in a while. Asari Dokubo, a gun for hire ex-terrorist called militants in Niger Delta, part of Nigeria. A gun for hire. That is who Asari is. He has helped the state to commit extrajudicial killings. And to him, he's held his own right to sit at the table. And from all indications, Asari Dokubo seems not to be welcomed again because of Werewike. He's probably no longer wanted. Or maybe Werewike has told them in Abuja that he is one toothless bulldog who can only bark but can't bite. Somehow, economic value of Asari Dokubo has reduced so drastically, like it has I mean, if Asari Dokudom was a stock, it would have been like a depreciated, where people will be kind of like unbundling right now, trying to get out of it quick, a very bad stock. You know, and all of this to Asari, they are not treating him right. In all of these arrangements, openly, like he said he never collected a dime campaigning for Tifnumbu. You know, he said he never collected a dime. And Tifnumbu has continued, right, to reward him with more disappointment. So when the issue of Rivers State started, Asari Dokudom made few videos warning Tifnumbu that Tifnumbu must warn Wike, if Wike should have his way in Rivers State, blah, 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 will happen. It's the only person that gave Asari Dokudom attention, like any new attention, was Fubara. It was Fubara, right, who seemed to be the only politician that still picks Asari Dokudom's phone call, in my own opinion. And then he became a king. And somehow he's entitled to some certain things from the states. So if Fubara is removed and Wike have his way, he, Asari Dokudom, would have to lose in two places. Tifnumbu that he openly, right, banked on. And then the Fubara, that is his saving grace, his insurance. So it seems everything is working against this Alaji right now. And he believes that there is a target on his back. They are the same friends of his, the same ones that he probably worked with when they massacred hundreds of people in Obigbo back then. If you remember in 2020, October 2020, when Wike declared a state of emergency or curfew in Obigbo, right? And then invited the military simply because he had a spat with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on social media. Rivers State is Igbo land. No, it's not Igbo. Ikweres are Igbos. Nwike is Igbo. There's nothing called Wike. It's Nwike. Is that little spat on social media around the same time that the NSAS was ongoing, where Wike ran so crazily mad that he took that revenge on the people of Obigbo. But curfew was declared. Or soldiers were going into people's home, which means nobody should go, nobody should move. Or soldiers were going into people's homes, suspected Igbos, shooting and killing them in an execution style. You see, Wike, and Rufaya of Kaduna, these two criminals, among others, they were supposed to be in the front row of those who are standing trials for crimes against humanity in Nigeria. Or maybe they will still stand trial as long as we do not join those who are whitewashing them. Because the atrocities that these guys committed, with the Wike especially, is beyond material things of looting money, stealing money, and all of that. He committed crimes against humanity, and nobody's holding him for that. So Asari Dokudom, who is pretty much afraid that his own friends might be turning on him, so he's calling our attention, telling us what's going on behind the scene and how much all he requires is just somebody to call him and say, if one door closes, another door will open. If Fubara can no longer be reached, you can call me. I'll pick up your bills. And Asari will drop Fubara like a piece of cloth or a piece of paper, the last part of his rant. And this is where he reminded all of us that if what is going on in the Rivers State, right, is not currently controlled or curtailed, that it may lead to Nigerian civil war again. And he actually remembered the over 3 million people, he said, killed in Biafra land. He also said something about the injustice in Nigeria that has made a lot of people demanding for the breakup of Nigeria, is referring to the Biafrans again. Asari Dokudom.
To contest for governorship, the Supreme Court will say he did not resign. against the constitution of the party. People would say you are a natural ruler and you are playing politics. I'm not a member of any political party. But I have every right to express my opinion on the danger that is coming upon all of us. A friend of mine sent me a video clip. And in that video clip, a woman was putting her leg on top of a man and talking on the phone. And somebody ran out and threw an object on the ground, and the man came to his senses. And I called him and I said, what's the meaning of this video you sent to me? I don't watch all this rubbish. And he said, that is the present situation in Nigeria. The husband is supposed to be the strong one, not so. He's supposed to be the head of the family, the breadwinner, the everything, and the woman is supposed to be subjected and subordinated to her husband. When the woman becomes the King Kong of the house, and the man is subordinated to her, what happens? He said, that is the reality of Nigeria. Make your conclusion. The weak now control the strong and use the powers invested in the strong to afflict all other people. It has failed. Whoever was shooting had failed. And they will continue to fail. Why will one man be allowed to strive in the East? We have a full-blown war, which the press is not talking about. Go to Anambra State. Go to Imo State. In the North Central. In the Northeast. And in the Northwest. And this man, with the strong watching this man, the weak, encouraging him as it is, that we have seen, pushing him forward as we have seen, to cause another war in the South. See, my warning is this. If this man, Nyeso Wike, is allowed, people are restraining themselves because of the danger. The danger that he's inviting. If the South, the job people are allowed, it will embolden the Southeast. And it will spiral out of control. Southeast governors listening. All the government house in the Southeast will be overrun. Because when the South is engaged, when especially the job people are engaged, which we pray it doesn't happen. When you have a friend, it is difficult for you to part with your friend. Because you have to look back. You have to look back at yesterday. The memories of yesterday will keep on playing up in your head. The memories of yesterday will continue to be playing up in your head. And you want to go forward? You want to go backward? Because friendship is more than money. Friendship is more than any other thing. And I say it because I am pained. I am fixed on a spot. Because in my darkness of time, Ahmed Bola Tinubu stood with me. He stood by me. I can't forget it so easily, no matter what happened. And that was why when I went to campaign for him, when I went to take bullet for him, I did not go to him to ask him for a dime, one kobo. Even when his daughter said, look, you are doing all these things, let Baba know. I said no. When Baba did all those things for me, I was in prison. Did they ask for my consent before I did it? It's my advice as a sincere friend. What is happening in Rivers State is reminiscent of what happened in the Western region. That led to the death of over 3 million Nigerians and destruction, the economic loss, and the pains and the scars, which is still being used today to rally people against Nigeria. To before one is to before one. It's teaching time. It says save 9. This shooting that took place today, whoever orchestrated it, you have failed. Oh, fail it, oh, fail it, flappy. Oh, fail him. You are always misreading me.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
So that we are to be sure that we are still on the same page, is a capital nuisance. But probing into all he said, as much as we believe is this, loose canyon, right? But picking from, trying to probe from what he said, Asari Dokubo considered what is going on in Rivers State as injustice against the Ijaw people. The injustice of removing Fubara, right, is an injustice against the Ijaw people. And according to Asari Dokubo, if the Ijaws should decide to fight back this injustice from Nigeria, it is going to embolden the people of Eastern Nigeria, right? And in what can be easily interpreted as saying, this injustice against us can break up Nigeria. What about the injustice against the Igbos since 1944? The one that has become a pastime for almost all tribes in Nigeria, wherever they are scheming around power. And why they are soft targets, is always the Igbos, in which he, Asari Dokubo, bragged many times on social media of how he would join others in slaughtering the Igbos. They try anything again. He brags about that. There are videos on social media, by the way. When a piece of meal or a piece of meat on the plate thinks is actually one of the people who are having a share or who are having a seat by the table, a piece of meat in the plate. And that's who Asari Dokubo is, a gun for hire, a discardable, worthless piece of rag. Think about that. They can always give him luxury, they can give him riches. but he's still pretty much like a disposable piece of rag. So these guys who sees him as a gun for hire, no ideology, no nothing, a man that can speak with all sides of his mouth, as long as there is always something for him in it. That's all that matters. The reason why he has publicly